home stretch. We are at our third and final training of our three-part series of living and leading a limitless life. This is Dr. Sarah Renee Langley, and I just want to say thank you so much. You know, having traveled all around the world as an award-winning international speaker, empowerment and leadership coach, author of 3 books, having talked to so many, worked with thousands of people in the course of my 10 years, working as a licensed professional counselor as well as a coach, I realized one thing. You are a leader. Now, you may say, how in the world do you know that, Dr. Sarah? We never met. Let's say we did not meet. I know that you're a leader. For this reason, the fact that you showed up and you're taking action, massive action, showing up. 80% of success is just showing up. So I want to say kudos to you and thank you. That just means that you are in position, because nothing happens by happenstance. Everything happens for a reason. Yes or yes? So you showing up means that you are ready, willing, and able to take off the limits, tap into your limitless potential, and to discover your next, so that now you can live and lead a limitless life. So I have a special surprise for you at the end. So just make sure that you endure to the end so I can give you your special surprise. Hey, this is Dr. Sarah Renee Langley, and I am so thrilled to talk about the final piece. We already talked about, just to recap, what did limitless mean, but more so, what keeps you limited? We also talked about the secrets of living and leading a limitless life. I had given you homework assignments in regards to no holds barred, free associate, writing things down that you are aware of in regards to how you are limited in every facet of your life. I asked you and I challenged you, hey, how does this serve you? How is it showing up in your life? How do you show up in the world being limited? And why are you choosing? Why are you choosing to play small and have the excuses and play the victim just to make everybody else feel good about themselves? Do you know that it is time, leader, to go after your next, to go after your dreams, your goals, your aspirations with no limits, to be limitless, to be free, liberated, to be empowered, to be inspired, that you too can create the lifestyle of your dreams. You deserve it. So with that said, let's wrap this up. Let's talk about how. How do you create a limitless life? Because oftentimes we'll go ahead and we will now have the understanding, or at least the knowledge, the information that, hey, I was limited. Now I know what to do. I know that this is how it shows up in my life. And all right, now Dr. Sarah giving me the key secrets on living and leading a limitless life. But oftentimes we fall short right at the finish line, because we've been taught that way. We have been conditioned to go to the finish line in a race, but many of us dare to cross it. That is the ultimate goal. Cross the finish line. How do you create your blueprint, your roadmap to a limitless lifestyle? How do you do it? That's what we're going to talk about right now. You ready? All right, let's begin. So, take everything that you've learned. You were able to discover how you playing small serves no one in this world. You realize that being capped, hitting the glass ceiling, and being limited doesn't help towards your goals of whatever goals that you have, or towards you wanting to be free, wanting to create the lifestyle that you desire and deserve, as well as being able to just be the best version of yourself. You have to take these limits off to do just that. Yes or yes. We talked about fear and how it's so small and minute to the point that you have to overwhelm the fear with your desire, your passion for your goals to be actualized, to be fulfilled. I did not get a chance to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this now. self-sabotage, self-fulfilling prophecy. Oftentimes, when it's something that is unfamiliar, that makes us so uncomfortable, we will create or put our hands to situations to happen exactly how we want it to, so that we can justify staying comfortable. So while you may be in a situation where you're not happy with where you are, that you may feel stuck, you may feel limited, you may believe that this is as far as it goes, that there's a glass ceiling and you can't bust it open, you will create situations, circumstances, find the right people to rally with you to set it up in such a way that you remain limited. Isn't that something? The psychology of it all, yes? Here's why. Because while we may not appreciate where we are, we may be so uncomfortable about it, and we may be so frustrated and burnt out and maxed out and stressed out in where we are currently. Here's the thing. It's what we know. And because of the fact this is what we know how to navigate through it. No matter how much turmoil it brings, no matter how dysfunctional it may be. Nevertheless, we know how to function through it. So therefore, because that is what we know, and we don't know that uncharted territory out there, that unfamiliar road to success, to limitlessness, oh my gosh. While it sounds great and it's possible to attain it, we're like, you know what? I just don't know what that's like. I don't know how to navigate through it. It's just too scary. I don't know ahead of the game on how this is going to play out. So therefore, we will self-sabotage and we will keep ourselves stuck. I remember one time I was working at, doing a 9 to 5. It was years and years ago. And I remember everybody was complaining about how we were treated as middle management. We were right sandwiched between direct workers and with the higher ups. And because I had such a heart of advocacy, I believe I get that from my mom, I decided to speak up on behalf of everybody. And I barged into the upper management office and I said, hey, you know what, matter of fact, let me back up. So we were all meeting, the coworkers and myself, and we, everybody's complaining and fussing and cussing and I was like, look, I'm all about solutions. What are we going to do? How are we going to do this? And so they was like, we should do X, Y, and Z. Okay, let's all go in there. Yes, that's right. We're going to go in there. Let me tell you. I went in there by myself, thinking that they were behind me. I'm like, we need X, Y, and Z, upper management. Right, everybody? Right, where is everybody? I felt so like an island to myself, to the fact that I thought that we were going to rally together because they kept complaining about the challenges that we had and feeling that we weren't appreciated and overworked and underpaid. But when it was time to speak up for ourselves to upper management, all I heard were crickets. Thank God I didn't lose my job at the time. Goodness. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever been there? Let me tell you, as soon as that was done, I want to say the next day, they went right back to complaining. I said, oh, you're not going to get me a second time, okay? So with that said, you have to make sure. These people were so comfortable with where they are. They were so comfortable in complaining because of the fact that while they wanted more, they wanted better, where they were was way more familiar. And it seems like we put more emphasis and more weight and more value on what is familiar, what we can control, as opposed to what's out there that could be more and better, that leads you to a limitless life. So let me ask you a powerful question. Let me ask you, powerful person, this powerful question. Are you a self-sabotager? Are you comfortable where you are? Can you dare admit that to yourself? Because see, the truth shall make you free. Yes or yes. When you confess that you know what, yes, I'm okay with where I am, although I'm not okay with where I am. That's why I'm here listening to the key secrets of how to create the limitless lifestyle to live and to lead. Then yes, You are in the right place, and it is a matter to be able to identify, to become aware of where you are self-sabotaging, when you are creating opportunities to justify your complaining and you being comfortable. We need to move you and shift you, and I said it in the last training. The only way that's going to happen is when you create choice for yourself, when you create the option and you start to put the weight and the emphasis and your energy and your vibrations on your outcomes, on your results that you desire, on the goals that you have. The only way that your goals are going to actualize is if you actually actualize them, if you make them happen. Yes or yes? So you have to overwhelm that fear, the comfort level that you have. So you're going to have to overwhelm it with your desires, with your goals, with your dreams. It is possible. Whoever told you that they weren't? Those people that have you to play small, when they're so intimidated by your greatness, did you ever think about that? Let's talk about that. And then we'll talk about the key steps of to create the lifestyle that you can live and to lead. Now, of course, I kind of mixed that up, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying that we are here to help you to know how to create that roadmap to your success and to your happiness by living and leading a limitless life. Yes? I'm just so passionate about this because, again, I was once like you, feeling so stuck, having so many ideas. I'm such a visionary. I'm such a creative person. I can create anything and everything all day long. And I love projects. I love doing things with my hands. And yet, I was always afraid of what people would say, what they may think, if they would even approve. I was looking for approval. I was looking for, somewhere to belong. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to have friends. I wanted to make them happy at my expense. And every time I kept putting all the weight and the emphasis and control on them, the smaller I shrunk, the smaller I became, to the point that I was absolutely limited. It wasn't until one day I decided to hear that small, still voice within myself that there's more to explore out there. Do you know that voice that I'm talking about? Do you hear that same small, still voice that tells you that there's more to explore? And the only way that you're going to do that is if you take the limits off, tap into your limitless potential, and to discover your next. Let me help you by helping to create that roadmap that's going to help you to live and to lead a limitless lifestyle. So with that said, let's talk about how you create that. Stop self-sabotaging. So identifying where you are, setting up these orchestrating these things, keeping yourself from being limitless. Stop the excuses. Stop justifying. Start looking at the outcomes. Start to overwhelm the fear by making your dreams and your desires so big that it creates choice for you, that you can choose either or, but at least you're now at a place of choosing versus defaulting to what you know and what is familiar. One way of creating that type of roadmap to your success and happiness and living and leading a limitless life is to understand your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Start to pay attention to who you are. See how you act in your surroundings. See how you respond to certain people. See how you are. Pay more attention to yourself, to your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Here's an idea. This is what I used to give to my clients. It's called the ABC chart. Well, ABCD. A stands for situation, B stands for behavior and thought, C stands for the results. So you would put it in columns, A, B, C. You're going to put a D column as well. So take a piece of paper, and here's another homework assignment. On A, you're going to list different situations that happen, things that you can remember off the top of your head. Next is, when you're in that situation, what is your thought and what is your behavior? How do you respond to the situation? What thoughts come up for you? That is so important to know and to note, because it is your thoughts that's driving this whole thing. So you need to know what you're thinking when it comes to that situation. to now see are the results. What happens from that situation, your thoughts and behavior, what does that lead to? And understanding your actions, your thoughts and behaviors, it leads to then be able, if you're not liking how you react every time that situation comes up, that's what D is for. D is called free frame. You guessed it, thinking it differently. How could you have done different? What could you have done differently? So now it moves you from responding the same way because you kept defaulting to what you know because you didn't create any type of different type of tools in your thinking or in your behavior in the B column on how the outcome can change. Not the situation. Oftentimes we may not be able to change the situation, but perhaps we can change our thoughts because then as a result it changes our behavior. To therefore it changes our outcomes. Did you catch that? So with that said, when you first pay attention, in order to create that lifestyle, creating your roadmap to success and happiness that's going to help you to live and to lead your limitless lifestyle, you have to understand your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. The next point is paying attention. Paying attention to your strengths. A lot of times we have been trained and conditioned to pay attention to our weaknesses and how can we change it. Remember what I said. There's no such thing as weaknesses. Only uncultivated strengths.